American actor Alec Baldwin says he is shocked and saddened after fatally shooting a crew member on a film set. In a tweet, he described the incident as a tragic accident. The actor discharged a gun being used as a prop. Director of photography Halyna Hutchins, seen here a few days ago while filming the western Rust, died of her injuries. The movie's director, Joel Souza, was also hit, but he's now been released from hospital. Police have interviewed Mr. Baldwin and are investigating whether the bullet was a blank or a live round. They say no charges have been filed. Well, DW culture reporter Scott Roxburgh is following this story. Welcome, Scott. Tell us more about Alec Baldwin's tweet.
Yes, I mean, you read the portion of it there that he said he was shocked and heartbroken in regards to this incident which happened in New Mexico during the production of a film that he is both starring in and is producing, a Western called Rust. And the incident apparently occurred during normal state of affairs on production, where Baldwin was using a prop gun, which is usually an incredibly safe device, incredibly well controlled on a film set, and it discharged, and the result was the death of the director of photography and injury to the director of the movie. The director has since been released from hospital and is no longer in danger. But of course, Ms. Hutchinson, as you mentioned, was fatally injured by the incident. And Baldwin said in his tweet, and that's been of course confirmed by the Santa Fe police in New Mexico, that he has been cooperating with the investigation, that he immediately went to the police for questioning and has been released and has not been charged. The police so far have not issued any arrests and not charged anyone in regards to this incident and are still investigating to try and find out what actually took place.
Right. So it seems amazing that this has actually happened, because one would expect there to be strict controls on the way that guns are used on set.
Yes, and there are. I mean, prop guns are very common in American film and television production, and they are incredibly strictly controlled. There's usually an armorer or a person who controls the munitions on set. There are very, very strict protocols that are followed when using these prop guns, because although they are props, they can be effective weapons. And typically there would never be a live ammunition in these prop guns, and they would be very, very strictly controlled. So the fact that this tragedy occurred is really quite baffling. The instance of fatalities involving prop guns are so few as to be really counted on one hand. A very famous case, of course, with Brendan Lee, the son of Bruce Lee, who was killed in the 90s in an incident on a film where a prop gun was used that had a projectile in the barrel, which shouldn't have happened, and he was fatally shot by that. But incidents like this are so uncommon to be, as I said, almost inconceivable.
And how are people reacting to this news?
Well, I mean, as with Alec Baldwin, it's shock and disbelief. There's been that sort of sentiment you're seeing across Hollywood today. The main union for behind-the-scenes workers issued a statement just recently saying how saddened they were and calling for renewed vigilance when it comes to safety on set. This is something that Hollywood has always put a focus on. And most recently, because of the COVID pandemic, safety on set has become even more important. So that makes, of course, this incident all the more surprising and all the more shocking.
All right. And has filming closed down then?
Filming on this film, yes, they shut down for an indefinite period while the police investigates, of course, what happened, and also while the workers on set are treated for the trauma of the involving in the incident. And the production team has said that they are providing counseling for all members of the cast and crew on the set. And of course, it's very unclear when and if production will resume.
Thank you so much for that, DW culture reporter Scott Roxburgh.